crossed out, then step back three, made him play twister for a bit.
Oh, my God.
I remember doing that to Justin in
So, are you calling yourself a baller then?
Oh, 100%.
His cap, something to really be able to say, hey, I want to be part of this. Wow.
And another bucket. And look at the bench.
Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Braz with us. We got Thanos back on the podcast. We got a special guest on the channel tonight. We got the number 2 Sammy brother. We got Jay Sammy on the podcast. What's good, bro?
What's good? It's happy to be here, man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure and an honor. I'll tell you that much.
He's live from Montreal.
He's live from the strip club. But the Raptors win this ball game 113-102. Paul Watson gets put into the starting lineup for Gary Trent Jr. And he performs. He outperforms.
Watson turns, fires anywhere on the court. Belongs to Watson.
I mean, it feels like every time we play Orlando, it's like a new milestone for every player. Paul Watson was the leading scorer for the night, scoring a career high 30 points, making 7 threes out of 9 attempts.
It was 8.
No, it was 10. He was shooting 10 of 13 in the first half. Or are you talking about in overall?
No, just overall.
It was 10 of 13.
No, 8 for 11 for 3, 8 for 11 for 3s, and then 10 for 13 field goal percentage.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing it. That's why I memorized it.
Yeah, he's right. 8 of 11 from 3, and then 10 of 13 from the field goal. Yeah, my mistake, my bad.
Justin, see that? I hit a splash fan.
No, I heard that. But you know what was more impressive about anything about those threes that he was hitting? It was the threes. It was the off ball screens and the open threes that he was hitting that he normally doesn't hit, man. Like I never seen that guy hit those kind of threes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's just shots that I don't know if it was something that it was just today, because as a baller myself, like some days you just feel it, right? Sometimes it's just like that day you're feeling it, but it didn't look like that. It looked like he was feeling it. It was a stroke, and it was natural, man. I want to see more of that from him, man. That's all I'm saying.
No, but Paul Watson's actually a really good, like, low-key player, man. Like, if you give more minutes, he will prevail. Like, I was telling these guys in the other episodes, like, in garbage minutes, you give him a ball, he hits those threes, right? But then today, you start him today, and boom, it's killing it. So I think it's a long time coming, yo.
You know who he reminds me of is a young Chris Boucher, because Chris Boucher would literally come into like garbage minutes and hit 1 3 at least. That's what Paul Watson is doing now. But seeing him hit at least 8 threes now is it's ridiculous. Like I'm happy for him. Like I'm happy. I'm hoping that it keeps going this way, this direction for him, because we need a guy like that. To come off the bench and hit threes like that.
There was one play specifically where Terrence Ross got crossed out.
Watson gets it back over to Flynn. Flynn guarded by Anthony. Watson with Ross on him. Ross momentarily slipped, and Watson is on fire right now.
It was a crossed out, then step back three, made him play twister for a bit.
Oh, my God.
I remember doing that to Justin in
So, are you calling yourself a baller then?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
He's got that Kevin Martin shot.
Yeah, I got that. I got that.
Kevin Martin shooting for him.
I got that.
Alonzo.
I got that Rondae Hollis Jefferson shot. But I make it every time though. The Raptors, they win 113-102. Paul Watson comes through as the starting shooting guard for the Raptors tonight. Fred VanVleet makes his return. Paul Watson makes 8 threes, scores 30 points straight to the dome, and he makes 8 threes at 11 attempts. Fred VanVleet, his streak ends tonight on 76 games.
And Kyle Lowry, it appears as though that will end, but 76 straight games for Fred.
Without a 3, right?
Yeah, with 1 3 at least.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. At the end of the day, man, this is probably gonna be Paul Watson's best game that he ever plays. Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna have another game like this.
No. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that he actually does more like this. Not like to that extent, but I'm saying like if he gets around 20 to 25 minute range, I'm hoping that like he would get at least 15, 20 points tops.
This is
100%.
This is more like an out-of-body experience with Paul Watson. Where
yeah, for sure. It's like Terrence Ross, bro. Like Terrence Ross, like got 51 points when he was on the Raptors, or something like that. Or like Corey Brewer, like when he got 50 points as well. Like it's just like that, you know.
It was Fred VanVleet who scored the most points against the Raptors against the Orlando Magic last time they played.
This year, every time we go up against the Orlando Magic, it feels like it's a shooting drill with these guys.
It's a Florida sunlight, yo. The Florida sun.
No, we're not.
No,
I think we already played them.
2-0, right? Or 101?
No, we're 2-0.
Oh, yeah. Like, at the end of the day, man, like, we should be able, as the Toronto Raptors.
No, sorry. We're 3-0 because we went back-to-back home and home with them.
Oh, true. Yeah, no, but, yo, at the end of the day, man, these are the games we should be winning. Like, we should be able to take advantage of.
Sure, yeah.
Want to win. At the end of the day, like, right now, where we're at, what are we, 11? We're competing for a play-in series, right? We're competing for a play-in series, and if we cannot beat the Orlando Magic, we might as well do what Ajit was saying for the last 2 weeks. We might as well just, give in and look for
to go on your point.
Yeah.
To go on your point. Tonight's win made us go 10th place to me.
Yeah.
So we're officially in the play-in tournament, which is good.
Because Chicago right now is kind of up and down. They
lost Levine. I don't see Chicago beating us at this point because Levine's out already for several games, and there's not that many games left. I don't think Vucevic is enough to help the Chicago Bulls win enough games to beat, like, compared to what we have, you know?
Yo, on paper, the Bulls roster is amazing on paper.
No, bro, they have Lauri Markkanen coming off the bench. Like, what else do you want? Like, seriously,
Lauri Markkanen is like my go-to guy, yo.
Yeah, and they have Kobe White too. They have Kobe White coming off the bench who can shoot threes like it's nothing, you know?
Yo, but realistically though, I feel like their team really, like, when you look at it on paper, even though they added All-Star and Vucevic, I feel like what they had before they made the trade was still just as good. Like, I don't feel like they improved.
No, that's true. But I feel like they need a veteran to, like, actually, like, you know?
Bro, Wendell Carter and Otto Porter Jr. basically make Vucevic. Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah. He's actually massive, yo. The way he played today looked huge.
Yeah, and Vucevic.
No, but Vucevic doesn't play that much defense, though.
He's
of an offensive player.
Orlando Magic, and you know what it is? Like, they don't have they're not a small market team, but their roster is built like a small market team, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, who's their best player? Wendell Carter Jr. Like, they got rid of Eric Gordon. I don't understand what they're doing with their team. I don't really like it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what Orlando's doing at the end of the day. Like, what are they really doing?
Orlando's just trying to rebuild again because they think the pieces they have they don't fit, because they've had Victor Oladipo, they've had Elfrid Payton, they've had Aaron Gordon. They
got rid of a lot of big contracts, yeah.
And it really comes down to the fact that Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Isaac got injured, so they couldn't make that push they wanted to this season.
Yeah.
And then they're like, fuck it. They're like, oh, we'll restart with the core of Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Bamba, and then they got guys like Cole Anthony who's a rookie this season.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like it's a smart move because considering the fact of how talented this draft class is right now, and on top of that, I've heard that.
Sorry, do you mean the upcoming draft or the last?
The upcoming draft right now. I think the Orlando have the Bulls pick. If the Bulls don't make it the playoffs, they have a second lottery pick. Is that right?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I heard from one of my boys. He said that if the Bulls don't make it to the playoffs, the Orlando Magic get that pick.
With the Orlando Magic right now, like, they're rebuilding clearly.
Yeah,
but they got the proper pieces. It's just the fact that two of their core pieces went down with the ACL injury in the bubble and then this season, right? But Bravs, I'm gonna throw it back to you with the Raptors.
Yes, sir.
Paul Watson, a 30-point game.
Crazy.
Yuta Watanabe.
Jeez.
Comes through. We talked about this in previous podcasts about his offense coming through finally. and he's hunting his shot down. He's looking for that shot. He's still aggressive on the defensive end. And he dropped a 20-piece tonight, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And I want to know, the fact that we have 2 bench players who basically could be a borderline second string, but maybe third string at times, they both combined for 51 points tonight with a lot of starters out for the game.
Yo, let me tell you one thing, though. You know who's the spark plug for all this? Freddie G. Freddie G, yo, to me, is a spark plug for all this happening, right? This guy gets the rebounds. He's like an energy bunny. He runs around like his energy on that bench is what sparks these guys. Obviously, Watanabe is a spark plug himself, but having the extra push from Freddie G elevates it for next step.
No, 100%, man. Like that's something you want from players. Like something you don't get from players is that hustle. Is that value that a lot of players don't have, is that hustle. Like Freddie G has that. He has that X factor. He's a hustler. He goes for those 50-50 balls, man, and he's willing to play defense. You know what I hate about players is those players that don't like to block. They don't want to go up for a block shot because they might get dunked on. Freddie G is not afraid of something like that. You know, he's always willing to put his body on the line. He's ready to play defense all the time. He's ready to, and that's the best thing about him. And that's actually the factor that makes the Raptors some of the best defenders in the league. They're willing to put their body on the line, and Freddie G he's just that classification of who the Raptors are. They just put the Raptors on the line, man.
Well, I mean, the specific thing to that point is the fact that Freddie G put his body on the line against DeMar DeRozan and got victorious. You know, he got the better end of the deal. But Yuta Watanabe though didn't get that better end when Anthony Edwards fucking went on him.
Listen, you gotta put your body on the line, man.
Yo, Justin, you're making my boy Nugent cry, man, with your wisdom, yo, with your wisdom.
Spit that wisdom. You know, sometimes I get guys a little bit emotional. That's all part of it.
We kept cutting about Jeet, though. Jeet, please continue. We cut you up twice, though.
Oh, no, Paul Watson specifically in that third quarter when he scored 20 points and he outscored the Orlando Magic 20-19 in that third quarter. And the Raptors overall in that third quarter scored 38 points as a whole team. Stanley Johnson in the second quarter was making threes like he was OG Anunoby, which is a plus.
100%.
And Yuta Watanabe in that first quarter scored 9 points. And when the Raptors were kind of down a little bit, when they needed a little spark off the bench, Yuta Watanabe, provided that, making tough shots.
I think he was the biggest factor in why the Raptors actually won today, because he came out when we were down 13-6.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the Raptors, man. They start off slow, but Utah, when nobody's out here, Kyle Lowry is out. Who else is out? Pascal. They're resting Pascal. OG's resting. And you have a guy like Yuta Watanabe. Man, he's coming out with like heart, and he's playing. And what did he hit? I think he hit his first 4 shots, right? He hit his first 4 shots, a 3-pointer, a dunk. You never see that from Utah. He gets a dunk in, man. Like, it gets the energy going. It's a big deal. Momentum swinging. It's a huge deal for the Raptors, man. I think he was a big factor in why they won tonight.
Yeah, he definitely brought the spark off the bench with 9 points in that first quarter. And I did want to get into the full team stats. The Raptors for the game were 41 of 82 from the field for 50%. They held the Orlando Magic to 35-77 for 46% from the field. The Raptors shot 14 threes out of 35 attempts for 40% from beyond the arc. The Orlando Magic only made 8 threes tonight for the game.
Jeez.
Out of 23 attempts.
In this era, like, threes are like everyone's go-to. You know what I mean? So, like, I think an average from 10 to 15, no, maybe more.
Yeah, around 15, right?
It's a guard-driven league now. The Golden State Warriors, back in 14-15 with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry changed the game. The trajectory of the three-pointer has gone up to another level. It's like supernova type of level. And 8 threes is like jujube. 8 threes for the game out of 23 attempts. 8 threes out of 23 attempts with 35% from beyond the arc is bullshit. You can't win a game unless you make at least 11 threes, I think. I believe.
50, 10 to 15 threes is what Brad said. Yeah, 10 to 15 threes is what you should really make.
Yeah. The Raptors tonight, from the free throw line, they shot 17 of 18 for 94%. Orlando Magic had missed 10 free throws. They missed 10 free throws for the night, 24 of 34 for 71%. The Raptors were able to control the rebounding category tonight with 42 rebounds versus the Orlando Magic for 35. That's a +7 for the Raptors. Cam Birch got the W against his former team, literally being traded, a week ago?
Yeah, a week ago.
Yeah, a week ago, yeah.
It's been 6 days since he signed with the Raptors, and he got the W against his former team already. Because the season's so shortened, it feels like, first it was Norman Powell, now it's Cam Birch. It's crazy. Yeah. Offensive rebounds, the Raptors had 8, Orlando had 6, so Raptors were +2. Assists, the Raptors had 24, Orlando had 20, the Raptors are +4. Shout out to Freddie for coming back. Freddie, number 1 and 2, right? Based on what Brav said. Freddie Double V.
Double V.
Freddie Double V.
Bet on yourself.
Yourself.
With the steals, the Raptors were a -2. Raptors had 6. Orlando had 8. Blocks, the Raptors had 10, and Orlando had 4 for a +6. Shout out to Cambridge, Chris Boucher. In that first quarter, they were blocking shots like baby food.
Yeah, man. In the first half, bro, those guys from Montreal, man, they know how to play defense.
To be honest, at this point, I feel like we're going to go down to the wire, but that last game we're going to lose, and we're going to make it. We're not going to make the playoffs or even the play-in.
You don't even think we're going to make the play-in?
No, I don't think so, because I don't see a point. I don't see a point in it. If we can get a high draft pick, what's the point of making the play-in if we're not really going to make any difference in the standings?
I can see the business decision in that. Yeah,
I think I know that's true, but I feel like if we do make the play-in tournament, I feel like we might lose.
Say that DeMar DeRozan might come back to the Raptors.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking, but he ain't coming back. The point.
I think we're talking 2024 when he retires and he just signs that one-day contract.
Yeah. He's going to do what Vince Carter should have done. But with the Raptors turnovers, the Raptors had 14 for the night, and the Orlando Magic only had 10, so the Raptors are -4. Raptors had 42 points in the paint versus the Orlando Magic for 38, so the Raptors are +4. Second chance points, the Raptors only had 6. Orlando Magic had 11 for a -5. And fast break points, the Raptors had 15. Orlando Magic had 11. Raptors were +4. Points off turnovers, the Raptors had 19. Orlando Magic had 10. Raptors were +9. Biggest lead for the Raptors tonight was 18. Sorry, Jay Sammy, but you can get that 20-point mercy to end your little parlay bet real quick.
There you go.
But you still got the W, so that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, 100%. You know what, man? What you just said regarding the turnovers, I know they had I think they had -4 turnovers against them, but I think most of their turnovers, I think it was 9 turnovers were in the first half. So they actually picked up the slack in the second half there. And at the end of the day, that means a big deal because you know what? We were playing today with our second lineup, bro. Did you see the lineup we had on today? I saw Malachi Flynn, Cam Birch, Chris Boucher. Who else is on that lineup?
Stanley Johnson.
It was the worst Raptors lineup I've ever seen in my entire life. I swear to God, in my life, it was the worst Raptors lineup I've ever seen. And at the end of the day, they picked up the slack, so it was good. The
starting lineup tonight was Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn, Paul Watson, Chris Boucher, and Cam Birch.
Yo, come on, bro. That's the worst Raptors lineup you've ever seen. Starting lineup I've ever seen last week.
This is how you know you're a 97, 96 kid, yo. You got a Pops out. You forgot all those guys, yo. The two Aaron Carter.
This is not the worst. This is not the worst lineup. Like the worst lineup. The worst lineup was the Primo lineup. The Primo lineup with Arnie and stuff. Like
no, Brabs is on one right now. First of all, Bargnani was actually a good player. This guy.
No, Linus. Please,
you know, both of you are still kids, man. But Yanni.
Yo, Jose Calderon, bro. Jose Calderon is a one.
Yo, compared to Aaron Carter, yo, don't get me started.
You say Aaron Carter?
Hold on, wait, time out. Hold on 1 second. Before you guys all get on this again, to Anujan's point, Bargnani was a solid play. He scored 41.
He was good for a few years.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. That guy was the first overall pick in the draft. I don't know what you guys.
Yo, we could have got Aldridge, bro.
If Bargnani was in this era of NBA, he would have flourished the fuck out of this league.
You think so? You think so? For
Yeah,
real?
because he was so 3-point dominated, bro. Like
we looked for the right player at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Bargnani would have flourished in this year's NBA because the defense is not as physical. The man can shoot the three with lights out. The only problem was he got injury prone and he was ahead of his era. He should have been in the league at this time. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for him. But even when he did play during that time with Chris Bosh, he scored 41 at the Madison Square Garden against Amari Stoudemire, bro. So shout out to him. He was not as bad as people make it out to be.
Yeah.
And shout out to him because he's the reason why we got Jakob Poeltl.
Nah, but at the end of the day, man, the best part of his career was the pasta, bro. It tasted better than you guys ever ate.
Primo commercial.
Primo pasta, him and Hito Turkoglu, whatever.
That was a cherry on the top.
But the thing is, though, he's the reason why we got Jakob Poeltl. We got a first-round pick out of New York because of Andre Bargnani, which led to Jakob Poeltl, which translated into a trade with him and DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard, which led to our 2019 championship, bro.
So you think we sacrificed him?
We sacrificed his life for Pakistan. Now, back to the game.
Yeah. His life got ended, man.
With the Raptors, though, 3 starters out tonight, but at the end of the day, they took care of business against a rebuilding team in the Orlando Magic. And
yeah.
The Raptors' biggest lead tonight was 18 versus Orlando's, which was 8. And personal fouls, the Raptors had 24 for the night. Orlando had 14. You can slowly see the reps coming with these bench players that had reason to be on the lineup or in the lineup. Like you see them coming together.
They're getting used to it,
Yeah, you see them finally like kind of building a cohesion.
Yeah.
And you see them like they're coming together. And I feel like once the starters play consistent minutes, I feel like we'll have that bench mob 3.0. Maybe not to that level, but I feel like they can average about 20, 25 points. Malachi Flynn, Yuta Watanabe, Paul Watson Jr., Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we were talking about it as the game was going on. Me and Ajit were talking about it. The biggest thing about that bench mob that we have as the Raptors is their defense, man. All those guys can play very good individual defense. Stanley Johnson, Yuta Watanabe, all those guys, man. Bembry, they can all play individual defense to like the highest level. It's just our offense slacks on the bench team, you know?
I wanted to list out a couple of the guys, the starting guys, or the main players that contributed to the Orlando Magic. And I'm going to get into the Raptors, and then we're going to get into the star player and the under the bus. For the Orlando Magic, former Chicago Bull Wendell Carter put on a show tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
31 minutes, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from the 3-point line with 1 block.
Yep.
Cole Anthony, Greg Anthony's son, scored 19 points in 29 minutes with 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. He had a nasty 4-point play in that game and no defensive stats. And what's this guy's fucking name? Chuma Okeke.
Yeah, that guy's a good rookie.
Okeke was playing good, man.
Chuma Okeke looks like a MOBA big, kind of like Kem Birch, a little bit more upside.
He's like a Mamba.
And Mobamba didn't unfortunately play tonight, but Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Scored 14 points. In 25 minutes, he scored 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, and a steal.
I was waiting for someone to pull up that reference.
Let me tell you, man, Okeke, he was playing really good, man. You know what? He came out as a younger guy, but he was dropping shots, and he was the one thing as a basketball player myself, you want to see someone that's super comfortable in their shoes when they're playing out there. And he wasn't second guessing himself. He was taking those 3-pointers, man. He was making his passes, man. He was looking real good. Okeke he looked like one of the best Orlando players on the court tonight, to be honest with
you. Yeah.
100%. Gary Harris, the person acquired from the Denver Nuggets, didn't really have a good game. In 26 minutes, he had 7 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists.
I totally forgot Gary Harris was on the Orlando Magic.
0 of 7 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 0 of 2 from the 3-point line with 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers. James Ennis, the guy that was on the Philadelphia 76ers when we won the championship that year, 29 minutes, he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 of 6 from the field, no assists, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line with 1 steal. RJ Hampton, 19 minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line with 1 steal. And T. Ross, former Raptor, 21 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 5 from the field, 0-1 from the free throw line, no 3-point attempts, no steals, 1 block. But he could go off on any night, but he happened to get tamed tonight. And Dwayne Bacon, a guy that was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in 17 minutes at 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 9 from the field. And shout out to Dante Hall. He didn't get any minutes with the Raptors, but he got a contract with the Orlando Magic. And
that's who it was. I was like, who's Hall?
Somewhere,
Yeah, Dante Hall, yeah. He was the one who fell on the floor when they were reviewing the flagrant foul.
Oh, shit.
With the Toronto Raptors, the main guys, we've already spoke about it. But shout out to Paul Watson, 25 minutes, got 30 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 of 13 from the floor, efficient as fuck. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 of 11 from the 3-point line, 1 steal, 1 block. Did not look like he can miss any shots from beyond the arc tonight.
Yo, he had confidence up here.
Yeah.
It was on one. It was like the same type of confidence that Fred VanVleet had in that 54-point game performance. Shout out to Yuta Watanabe, the number 1 selling jersey in Japan.
Yes, sir.
26 minutes, 21.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 7-11 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, 1 block, 2 turnovers, no steals. Freddie Gillespie, 10-day contract, about to get that second 10-day contract because he's showing that he can perform on the floor. Does not shoot the three.
I really like him, man.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good.
Does not shoot the 3. The same age as OG Anunoby.
Wow.
1997, 10 points, 7 rebounds in 21 minutes, 5 of 8 from the floor. The man is definitely showing that he's worth the time. He's valuable on the floor. Stanley Johnson, shout out to Stanley, came through in the second quarter with a couple threes. 20 minutes, he had 13.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 8 from the field. Made 3 threes tonight out of 5 attempts for 60% from the 3-point arc. 1 steal, 1 block, had 3 turnovers. Rodney Hood, in 17 minutes, he had 7 points, no rebounds, 1 assist. 2 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line. Oh, welcome back.
Sorry, I was just getting called. I was trying to decline it, But yeah, we're back.
It's all good. Now, Kem Birch didn't have his best game tonight. 26 minutes, he had Aaron Baines type numbers, 7.6 rebounds, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 steal, 3 blocks. But the man had a nice dunk in that second or third quarter, I believe.
Can I just add that I feel like Freddie Gillespie, the numbers he's putting with only 20 minutes, like it's gonna translate to him. Like if he does get the starting role at some point, and like let's say Siakam. No, I'm just saying, like hypothetically speaking, if Siakam gets traded, if you give him 36 minutes in a game, I feel like this guy would put up a lot more.
100%. I don't doubt that, but the thing is that he's not going to get the starting role.
I know. He's not going to get it, but I'm just saying, if you give him those minutes, I feel like he put a lot more.
With Pascal and Chris Boucher in the lineup. With Pascal and Chris Boucher in the lineup, he's not going to get those minutes, but he definitely looks like he's capable of getting that 10 and 10 that he averaged in the G League.
Boucher is good, but he doesn't have the size, like he doesn't have that the size for a 4.
He doesn't have the weight, man. I think it's the weight he doesn't have, but Boucher, man. Like skillfully, he's really good. He's
really good. He's really good.
Defensively, I personally, we've all been watching basketball for so long. I personally have not seen someone who can close out on a 3-point shot or a long jumper like Boucher can.
The Raptors had no Gary Trent Jr. tonight. They had no Kyle Lowry. They had no Pascal Siakam. They had no OG Anunoby. And they had no Aaron Baines. Thankfully, thank the Lord that he's not playing anymore. But the Raptors did have Malachi Flynn tonight, getting his 5th start of the season. He did not perform as high as he did in the past games. In 34 minutes, he had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 of 12 from the floor, which is 25%, which wasn't efficient at all. No free throw attempts, and couldn't make a 3 for his life tonight. 0-4 for the night with 2 steals. Chris Boucher, in 31 minutes, he was a starting front court player along with Kem Birch. But in 31 minutes, he had 11.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 6 from the field, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 blocks. They pulled away in the second half of that third quarter.
Yeah.
Paul Watson just started going off. A man amongst boys, a man possessed, literally making threes like he's Steph Curry, feeling like Fred VanVleet in our last matchup against Orlando Magic, not missing a 3 for his life. And it wasn't just the fact that, Orlando Magic's defense pretty shit. So Paul Watson got a lot of open threes to get to that point where he felt nice about himself.
This is his time to shine. He has to prove what he has to prove, and he went out there and did better than anyone expected him to do. So I congratulate him for that, and I hope that brings him more things to come. And I would invite the Raptors to give him more minutes for sure.
You're a nice guy, for congratulating you. A good guy, yo.
Wait, just to go on your Gary Trent point, it was 7 threes. Yeah.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, no worries.
So Fred VanVleet has the most threes with 11 this season, then Paul Watson, and then Gary Trent Jr.
That's crazy. That's a lot of threes.
That's not gonna last until I'm pretty sure Gary Trent's gonna break that eventually.
That's crazy that the man had 44 points this season against the Cleveland Cavaliers and couldn't beat 7 threes. Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster, the season's kind of been up and down with us. So as much as we're trying to make the play-in tournament or make the playoffs in general, I feel like these guys who are at the end of the bench, like a Paul Watson, like Yuta Watanabe, who are on two-way contracts, are trying to audition for a solid role on this team. And Paul Watson had made a statement tonight. This is a big W. I mean, Chicago has lost Zach LaVine to health and safety protocols with the whole COVID situation, so he's not going to be there for 2 weeks. And the way they're performing with Zach LaVine, they're on a 4-game slide right now, where they've lost 4 in a row. And I feel like this is a time for us to slip in. Washington's right behind us as well. They're tied with us with the same record before tonight's win. I think they might have won.
Did Washington win tonight?
I think they did win tonight. Yeah, I think they beat Memphis. The Raptors, they took care of business with the undermanned roster, and now they're coming up against the OKC Thunder on Sunday night. And that's a big game as well. A rebuilding team, a retooling team. I don't know if Shea is going to come back, but I know Luke Dort's there now, and Darius Baisley is there. Versus the first time that we played them.
Yeah.
And we got that Swala, that guy from Detroit. Right? I don't know what his name is.
Wait, what happened to that center? What's it on OKC?
Oh, Moses Brown?
Yeah, Moses Brown. Like, what happened to him? I haven't heard about him ever since we faced him that day.
I'm not sure, but 11-11, make a wish. Another thing is...
That's crazy.
Yo, this is how you know it's crazy.
Oh, he's still playing.
Sorry, what'd you say, bro?
I was gonna say, when you made a 11 remark, I was gonna say, this is how you know it's crazy to be an MSN sweetie, yo.
No, I've been
the MSN game, yeah, for sure.
I just been wishing for the Raptors to win a championship. It finally came into fruition 2 years ago. I've been doing it since the MSN days. That's why.
I think overall, it was a good opportunity for a bench to step up and break that curve, right?
100%.
I know a lot of these guys have opportunities to shine because we have Lowry out, Freddie out, and Gary Trent out. Perfect opportunity for people like Flynn, Watanabe, and we saw with Watson, right, to break that shell, right? So hopefully this momentum continues against OKC over the weekend, and we go to the next step. Like you guys were talking earlier in the podcast, we might not be in that play-in tournament. We might not be in there, right? But this gives these young bucks opportunity to, get their feet wet, understand the NBA, and hopefully develop their career. So it's a big squad.
That's the thing with us. Like, we've lost a team. Like, we've underperformed against teams that are not supposed to be competing with us.
I want to say it's been one of the themes of your guys' podcast. I'm one of you guys' biggest fans at the end of the day. I watch all your guys' podcasts. But, at the end of the day, I watched your guys' podcast, and that's one of those themes that the Raptors, and you and Nugent always say it almost every other podcast, the Raptors play down to their competition, man. They always are playing to, we're so much better than how we play. But when we're playing a team like Orlando, we're not playing as good as we should. And you guys always speak on that, and it's the truth. And that's just the facts. And it's shitty to see the Raptors play down to the competition.
We shouldn't be losing to teams like Minnesota. We shouldn't be losing to teams like Detroit, getting swept by Detroit for the season series. We should be losing to teams like OKC. We shouldn't be losing to a team like Houston Rockets without James Harden. And that's been the theme this season. And for the Raptors, they need to take care of business if they're trying to make the playoffs. If they're not, they need to decide what path they're going to take. Right now, it feels like they're trying to play both ends of the field.
Yeah.
And the Raptors need to pick and choose what they want. Do they want a fucking solid pick in the draft where they get a high lottery pick and then retool and come back and become contenders in about a year or two? Because right now, with the top of the East, we're not competing. We're not beating Milwaukee in a 7-game series. We're not beating Brooklyn in a 7-game series. And we're not beating the 76ers. We're not beating the 76ers.
I feel like the fact that we couldn't trade Lowry during this trade deadline, I feel like that's the reason why they can't figure out what path they're going to. Because I feel like if we traded Lowry in the trade deadline, I feel like we would have went in that path. Like we would have played like a few games and see how it went.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they didn't, like they went along with trading Lowry at the trade deadline, trying to get the value they thought that he was worth. Didn't work out. So what I think they're going to do is they're going to regroup. And in the offseason, if they get a lottery pick, they're going to try to add a lottery pick, Kyle Lowry, maybe another pick or a young asset that we have, and try to go for Bradley Beal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll see, man. We'll see. There's a lot of possibilities. I just want to get by the season. The season is pissing me off. I want the season to end, and then we'll start talking about what ifs and all this crap.
It's another, 16 games? 15, 16 games?
16, I think.
Yeah, I did want to get into, before we wrap up the podcast, I want to talk about the star player of the game. We're going to go co-star with Paul Watson and Yuta Watanabe.
Yes, sir.
Sure, yeah.
Two guys that have been living rent-free on the bus for months now, but they made it to the star player, star role. They both deserve it. I can't pick and choose between the two because Watanabe came out in that first quarter showdown with 9 points, and then Paul Watson in that third quarter outscored the whole Orlando Magic team 20-19, scored 20 points in that third quarter. And
Watanabe has been stepping up the last few games.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been saying this for a long time. I said Watanabe, his defense, his hustle has been legit. It's just his offense has been a liability, and because
for sure,
it's always been kind of like a toss-up in terms of if he's really a plus-minus on the floor.
Would you say it's so much his offense, like his shooting game, or like is it just his overall offense? Because I feel I personally feel like his jump shot's good, man, and his outside range. Good. I just feel like when he has the ball, he just doesn't know how to make decisions.
Yeah, he has a good form. He knows how to shoot. It's just he wasn't making those threes, and I feel like he's shooting it with more authority, more confidence right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about confidence, right?
Yeah, and he's hunting his shots right now. In terms of going away from his shot, he's actually hunting it down now.
Yeah.
And that's bringing up his confidence to the point where he can drop a 21, a career high for him.
Yeah.
Him and Paul Watson both went for career high. Paul Watson, 30 points, career high, 8 threes, a career high. Yuta Watanabe dropped a couple of threes, 21 points, a career high. Like, these guys are showing that they can play in this league and stick around with the best of them, play with the best of them. I want to get to the guys who were throwing under the bus. Stanley Johnson ain't getting thrown under the bus, just a heads up right now. The man dropped 13 points tonight. He did make some stupid ass plays. Drive 4-on-1 and getting a fucking offensive charge. That was so stupid.
I think Flynn should be on the bus.
Yeah, Flynn definitely 34 minutes at 6 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 of 12, 25% from the field. And yeah, he deserves to be on the bus.
Yeah, for sure.
And Cam Birch, I think he deserves to be on the bus tonight.
Yeah. But Cam Birch would play really well today in terms of like defense and stuff. He had 2 back-to-back blocks. Like, I thought he did well today, in my opinion.
All right, fine. So we'll go Malachi Flynn. We'll go Chris Boucher.
I'm only saying Malachi Flynn today because, yeah, he's a rookie and shit. But you've been being a starter for a few games now. You gotta tighten up your ball handle, man. Too many turnovers. Him and Boucher. Boucher, when he gets the ball, your fancy stats are at risk because his turnovers is disgusting. It's like at this point, the currency range is going to be up here,
I was telling Jay Sammy off camera, I'm like, why is this dumbass dribbling the ball right now? Like, I'm like, this is too much.
Chris Boucher, right? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it reminded me of like what I was exactly told you right after that. Pascal Siakam, man. There's some guys that shouldn't dribble the ball up the court, man. And
Stanley Johnson,
No knock on Pascal. I think he's a great knows what he has to do.
I think I have more trust in Stanley Johnson dribbling the ball than Siakam right now. I don't know.
Stanley
Johnson. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
No. I'm saying just dribbling the ball. I'm not talking about like going fucking like going on a fast break and literally going against 4 men. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying dribbling up the ball.
No, listen. If Stanley Johnson, Pascal Siakam, Chris Boucher had the ball and there's a point guard beside you, pass the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like, stop dribbling it, because either you're gonna double dribble like Pascal did, turn over the ball on an offensive foul, like Stanley Johnson all the time,
100%.
And the Chris Boucher.
Not even like you're being a dick. You're being 100% honest, bro. These guys should not be dribbling the ball with Fred VanVleet beside you. You're 100% right.
They can dribble the ball. Just don't over dribble like Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
And turn the ball over.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Like not like fully dribbling the ball.
Under the bus, we're throwing Chris Boucher
and Malachi Flynn
and Fred VanVleet.
I personally don't know if I think I'm gonna cut some slack for VanVleet. I feel like he's coming off of a hip flex injury. I don't think throwing him on the bus right now is reasonable.
Let the bench prevail.
No, the bench was awesome tonight, but overall, Fred VanVleet had an extra game to heal from the hip injury because of the suspension, so he should have been back last game. The fact that he ended his 76-game streak of making 1 3-pointer, and the fact that he couldn't make a shot for his life.
That's a good point.
3 of 11 from the field, no 3-point shots made, 6 attempts from 3, but didn't make 1 for his life.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the first quarter he came out trying to fire guns blazing. I'm pretty sure he bricked all 3 of his 3-pointers in the first quarter.
He did.
And to Brow's point, Cambridge had 3 blocks, but fuck it. It should be getting a double-double. If Freddie Gillespie can get 10 and 7, what the fuck are you doing getting 7 and 6?
Yeah, pretty sure Brabs could put up better numbers than that on the Raptors.
Yeah,
Yo, I'm a baller, yo, like Justin.
I'm a baller, yo.
My man only balls when he gets 1 midi from the bakery.
I feel like Chris Boucher needs to be on the bus too, like with Aaron Baines, because this guy's literally trying to do extra right now. Like,
yo, he has to go back to the fundamentals.
Yeah,
he's literally dribbling the ball like he's a point guard right now. Like,
his ego is up there right now based on that. Almost getting that 40-20 game, 30.
He thinks he can run the team right now. Like, what?
Cool. We're talking about Malachi Flynn?
No, Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher.
Chris Boucher got 38 and 19 in that game against Chicago, almost a 40-20 game. So his ego's gone up a level, kind of like Pascal. He's feeling himself. So he needs to come back down to reality. But in terms of Malachi Flynn, he deserves to be on the bus because he's been averaging in the last 4 games 16 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
He deserves to be on the bench. And Cambridge, he basically beat out Aaron Baines' season-high numbers in 3 games. For him to come out and drop 7 and 6 in 26 minutes, I mean, he got 3 blocks. Okay, that's great. But offensively, we need a little bit more. Based off of last game,
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Gillespie and Cambridge, what they did last game against the San Antonio Spurs, this is Jujube, right? This is baby food.
Yeah.
Jujube, yeah.
Cambridge, Malachi Flynn, Chris Boucher, Fred VanVleet. That's it. That's how I'm going with. Hope y'all agree. Just to wrap up this part.
I'm on board with that, man.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I'm liking the way the Raptors go. I know we're beating shitty teams right now, but, we're playing OKC next. We gotta get a redemption, so let's go.
Bro,
I'll chug that skull liquor behind my man Sammy D right here.
I do want to say, though, that I still think the Raptors are one of the best teams in the East when they're all healthy, man. And I don't think
look at the camera, please, and tell us that.
When we're all healthy, I think we can make a good run, and I want to see the Raptors back at it in the next 10 games.
I'm going to have to disagree with Justin right now. I know them winning is good, but I truly don't know what the hell they're doing. We're not going to beat the Sixers. We're not going to beat the Nets. We're not going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, or we're not going to beat the Celtics. Like, Celtics are, literally coming up. After Jason Tatum got his inhaler, bro, he's been playing like Jesus right now. Like, he's been dropping 30 points a game. Like, am I right?
Let me tell you something. You think as healthy Raptors can't put up a good 7-game series against the Sixers and Celtics, man?
I don't think so. I think
we're losing 5 to both teams, and I don't think we could beat the Heat either.
Yeah, Siakam's spinning like a fucking washing machine. I don't think we're gonna beat anyone, honestly.
Well, when the ball's in Siakam's hands, let me tell you something.
No, bro, I'm telling you, if Siakam has the ball in his hands, we're not winning anything. Yeah, he's had so many opportunities where he didn't come through. I'm not trusting with the ball. I'll give Gary Trent or Larry the ball. I would trust Larry over Siakam any day.
I'm not a big fan when he has the ball in his hands, man.
Larry, VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Malachi Flynn, I trust him over Pascal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Pascal any day of the week. The Raptors are looking to get another win. They won back-to-back wins. I feel like it's so rare this season, but it's happened again for the third time, from what I remember. They beat the San Antonio Spurs. They beat the Orlando Magic. Now they're going for a 3 in a row against the OKC Thunder. Hopefully they can get redemption for the last loss they took to this team. Hopefully we can shut down Shvishma Swaswala.
Bismillah.
Yeah, and alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Ramadan Mubarak to all my Muslim brothers out there, man. Come on.
All right, and any final thoughts?
Assalamu alaikum.
Let's hope we get this. I truly don't know. I hope we get this either the W or L. I'm looking more so to the L because I'm also looking attacking right now. I don't know what I don't want to win. Like I'd rather tank at this point. I'm just being honest. I'd rather us tank at this point. We're not gonna do jack shit in the playoffs.
Business wise, that's probably the best thing.
It's more better. But like what my brother said, like Bradley Beal, like doing that trade, that works. That makes sense. But like, you really think that's gonna actually work out? Like,
but that's the whole point of the play-in tournament, right? The NBA and Adam Silver, they're trying to help. They're trying to make teams avoid tanking, right? That's the whole point of the play-in.
Right? So, how can you do that? Okay, I know we're going beyond our time limit, but how can you do that when like all these guys are like becoming super teams, like, you know what I mean, like mega teams? How can you prevent teams from tanking when there's always it's like Russia and China. Sorry, Russia and China, and everyone's fighting everyone else behind them.
No, there's no right answer, man. And these guys that are playing that game with like the Brooklyn Nets, and you're putting 3 of the best players in the game together, man. I don't agree with it. Never will agree with it. But guess what? At the end of the day, thank your boy Ajit and his love to LeBron. It's LeBron who started that bullshit of the super teams, man.
No.
No. What the Celtics started that? What are you talking about?
That's not talking, guys.
This is a whole new podcast. We're gonna start a new podcast.
Wait. I just want to say something before that.
It's like a remix right now.
I can't end this podcast off talking shit about LeBron. As much as he's done up Toronto and made it LeBronto, I can't let Don't forget about the Boston Celtics in 2007, 2008. Ray Allen, KG, Paul Pierce. That might have not been people in free agency signing together, but that was a big 3. Don't forget about everyone.
That's the weakest big 3 I've ever heard in my life, bro. Come on.
Bro, don't forget about the Pistons, bro. The Pistons were like a big 4. Bro, the Pistons were a big 4 too, right?
I saw Paul Pierce. He was at a titty party in the middle of Florida, bro.
What about Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, bro? That was a big 3.
That wasn't LeBron. I wouldn't compare that to LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh, though. I wouldn't do that.
No, what? What?
I don't know, man. That's another podcast.
Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy. And then Bob McAdoo coming off the bench. You're not talking about that?
Bro, Celtics in the back with Larry Bird and shit, they had like a big 4. Same with the Lakers, bro. Like
Larry Bird, Rob Parrish, Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge, Dennis Johnson. Bro, what are you guys even saying right now? Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer. You got Joe Dumars, the 6th man off the bench. Vinny the whatever his fucking name is, Vinny Johnson.
Yeah, but you're naming all these guys. These guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. Come on, what are we talking about right now?
Yeah, they are, bro. What do you mean?
Hall of Famers. Yeah, maybe Kevin McHale, but none of those guys you named. Bob Parrish. Who else? Bob McAdoo. Like none of those guys are first ballot Hall of Famers besides Kevin McHale. And
Bob Parrish, bro, what?
Bob Parrish is a Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I'm talking about. You're talking about the big 3s of all time. Right?
Yeah. This is gonna.
We're gonna wrap this up for another podcast.
This is gonna go on forever. Yeah. Let's end this.
We'll have this debate on another day where we can actually talk shit to each other. Okay. The OKC Thunder are coming up on Sunday night. The Raptors are looking to win 3 in a row. They got a high chance, especially. I don't know how healthy the team is right now, but even with the team like this, like if this roster or this lineup went into that game on Sunday, I feel like if Paul Watson, Yuta Watanabe can play like this, we have a fighter's chance to win that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Even with Lou Dort and all these guys coming back.
And I feel like Freddie will step up too. I feel like he'll have a better game.
I think so too, yo.
Big shout out to my boy Ajit Sokumar and the Airborne Freedom Podcast. Big shout out to his younger brother Anujana Sokumar and their co-man Raz, Airborne Freedom Podcast. Big shout out. This is
say his last name. Say Brav's last name too.
Yes.
Couldn't pronounce that one, guys.
Sokumar.
He's one of the brothers. Braveen Ashok Kumar, or you can say Braveen Ravi.
Bravina Shokumar, Ajisa Sokumar, Anujana Sokumar, and the last one, Justin Shokumar. This is the Airborne Freedom Podcast, and we out. Jeez!
And on that note, appreciate everyone for tuning in to the podcast. If you haven't liked the podcast, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to it. What are y'all waiting for? Stop slacking, bro. My man disappeared like Houdini. But we'll be back with the post-game podcast after the OKC game. But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace!